Hi everyone, and welcome to this new video showing some of the interesting features that are now in Cubiverse. We're currently at version 0.5 and we've got a few interesting things such as trigger zones, mob spawn points, some hub things, and I'm just going to launch straight into the example map. Now this is a zombie escape map that I made, but as Cubiverse is a game builder or a game crafter, you can make anything you want. In this instance, I'm running through quickly the zombie escape map, and obviously it's triggering things, and there's various activities going on, and this is all part of Cubiverse, the scripting. So there is no game except for what you make, and so there's Cubiverse is unlimited. You can do anything you want, and obviously as the time goes on, we'll add more stuff to it, more cool things. But for this quick video, I'm just going to show you what goes on behind the scenes here. And as we fly back, you can see various things and entities floating around. But let's kind of focus in on what makes this level actually happen. First off, you can see that we have two wee spinning cubes here. These are spinning entities, and these are general JavaScript scripts. Okay, so let's click on one of them. And as you can see, when the script is executed, it displays some text. It has a nice wee function called showRun, which is kicked off by a timer after 10 seconds. Then we have another show time, and this just shows a second timer in the top left of the screen. And there's a bit of code there to remove the old element and show the new hub element. And then we have a time of day, and this really winds the time on when you first spawn from 4 o'clock in the morning through to 9 o'clock, and it just it calls the environmental object. The second entity, well, it shows some events. We have a world object, a global, and it has lots of events that might be of interest, may not. And at the minute, I'm just logging them out to the console, and they're down there. So let's move over and have a look at some of the other things we have here. These are the zombie spawn points, and basically spawn a zombie one for one. You can attach code to them, or you can change various bits and pieces. But for this moment in time, I'm going to move one and then leave them be. As you can see, there's some other zombie spawn points just behind the. You can see there's 2 player spawn points, again randomly picked. But I'm going to move on and have a look at one of the new features, which is a trigger zone. So if a user ever enters, or a player gets inside a trigger zone, we fire off an event. In this case, all we're doing is firing off a wee bit of text saying the way is blocked, find a different way. We have a wee bit of logic there that stops the message from displaying more than once. Then behind this, we have a much bigger trigger zone. Again, same sort of logic for firing once. And again, the text just says, look, get inside the castle because the zombies are going to come for you. So once we make our way up inside, you'll see we have 3 trigger zones here. First trigger zone, again, very similar. It's only getting you to give you a message, but there's a drop torch there, and that'll show you in a minute what happens there. We have another trigger zone at the top of the stairs, and this is really just to say, look, you forgot to pick up the torch, go pick it up, and that's that. One of our more interesting general scripts here is a script that has an object called nighttime, and again, it does what it says. It winds time on from the current time. It also uses what we call a bindable object, which again, if you want to get into more detail with JavaScript, certainly search that on Google. And in this case, it allows us to fire off a timer function that knows about the parent object. Again, all we're doing is winding it on from the current time to midnight, and we're using the environmental object to set that. Then in the other entity, we have the drop torch function. And this spawns a torch at the world position, and we then attach a couple of events to it. And these are handy to know whenever the torch has been picked up, or it's been equipped, or unequipped. In our case, when it's equipped, well, we want to print a wee bit of text saying press I, open the inventory, turn it on and off. But we also set a flag here, again, for that trigger zone that's at the top of the stairs. And we then create the nighttime object, which winds it on. And then finally at the very top, we have just when the player enters the trigger zone, we spit out some messages saying there's more to come. But one of the more interesting features here is that we can spawn anywhere. We don't have to spawn at the start, so I hit the second play button and we spawn wherever the editor is, and that means we can short circuit. We don't have to go back to the start each time. Of course, some of the messages that appear on screen are because during initialization. so you'll see them again. But wherever you spawn, you can activate entities around there, and we see the night time, and we're literally in night now. So Cubiverse is essentially a open world where you can write your own scripts, create your own entities, and control nearly all aspects of it. We're still in beta. We're still trying to add lots of interesting features, and there's probably a ton of bugs. And trying to get good support through all the browsers. Of course, Chrome is probably the best in terms of performance and functionality, but it should run in any browser. And please get involved with the community. It's what we're all about, understanding what you want to see, and so please get in touch. Thanks.